Raven's past opens the story. In 1998, she was a goth teenager who read tarot cards. Her best friend was Kelly. At a party, Raven exposed one of Kelly's secrets through a tarot reading. Soon after, Kelly died in an accident. In the present, John works as a pizza courier in New San Francisco. Raven forces him to stay in the city. He trains hard for a deadly vehicle combat tournament. He keeps trying to escape to continue his search for Quiet, but Raven's soldiers capture him every time. A new season of chaos is about to begin. This is Twisted Metal Season 2. Raven later summons John. She orders him to win the tournament so she can restore Kelly's condition. John is tired of her control and keeps trying to flee. Meanwhile, the masked gang called the Dolls attacks a pharmaceutical factory. Their leader Dollface kills the manager to protest medicine distribution limited to city residents. The Dolls celebrate their success. Quiet is with them and has adopted their way of life. Dollface soon reminds the gang of their main mission. They plan to destroy the walls around major cities to give people outside the same chance to live well as those inside. At the same time, Stu becomes a killer under Sweet Tooth's influence.
Grapes, apple, banana. Apple.
John eventually allies with a soldier named Chester. Chester helps him find a way to escape through the sewers. While searching for a vehicle, John discovers an ambulance carrying Kelly, still in a coma. Soon a video spreads from Calypso. He announces himself as the organizer of the tournament, a lethal contest for dangerous drivers. He promises to grant any wish to the winner. Quiet decides to join the tournament to help the Dolls destroy the walls. Sweet Tooth also enters, eager to become the ultimate killer. Later, John escapes in the ambulance without Kelly as Raven's soldiers give chase. The Dolls arrive in combat vehicles, wipe out the soldiers, and overturn the ambulance, capturing him. Hours later, he wakes in the Dolls' camp where Quiet steps in to stop others from harassing him. John feels a rush of relief seeing her after 7 months apart. Soon Dollface appears and reveals she is John's younger sister. John's real name is Lionel and Dollface's real name is Krista. She often invites him to observe the Dolls' life. Every member she recruits is a woman who has survived crime. Quiet then shares her plan to enter the deadly vehicle combat tournament. John objects because he knows the danger, but Quiet stays firm. She wants to destroy the city walls and end the divide between those inside and outside. Not long after, Quiet catches Mayhem stealing from the group. Mayhem is an infiltrator posing as a member. Quiet restrains her as punishment. Time passes until Dollface calls a meeting to select the Dolls' representative for the tournament. To decide, she sets up a race filled with hazards.
First person to cross the finish line wins.
When the race starts, John competes against Quiet and several Dolls. He aims to win and keep Quiet out of the tournament. The racers push their cars hard while others set traps. In the end, only John and Quiet remain in front. Quiet wins and secures the spot. After the race, John and Quiet face two primitive men who steal Quiet's axe. They claim they want revenge for earlier raids. Working together, John and Quiet defeat them. Later, Dollface urges John to stop blocking Quiet's choice. She believes victory and the fall of the city walls will bring justice for their parents, who died because of the city dwellers. Meanwhile, Quiet frees Mayhem and persuades her to join the Dolls. Mayhem admits she was married at a young age. After this, John agrees to be Quiet's partner in the tournament, showing they have reconciled. Elsewhere, two men try to rob a tomb. A man named Grim kills them with his helmet and absorbs their souls. Grim once stayed in the same psychiatric hospital as Sweet Tooth. He digs into his father's tomb and uncovers a hidden motorcycle. Later, John and Quiet head toward Diesel City with Dollface and two other Dolls. Along the way, Quiet tricks John into leaving his vehicle, so he must ride with Dollface. She hopes they will reconnect as siblings. Soon Dollface allows Ashley and Jeremy to set up a tent so everyone can rest. While they work, she takes John to a nearby drive-in theater. Quiet drives around for fresh air and listens to her favorite song, but jumps when Mayhem suddenly climbs out of the trunk and asks for driving lessons. Quiet agrees. At the same time, John and Dollface reach the theater where John once spent summers with his family. As they share those memories, they are attacked by a man named Axel who rides on two giant weaponized wheels. John and Dollface fight back, stunned by his strange form. Overwhelmed, they hide nearby. They watch Axel drink gasoline and rest. While he is distracted, they slip into the facility and cut the power to help their escape. A scientist named Dr. Zemu soon attacks them. He believes humans should merge with machines to survive outside the cities. Axel is one of his experiments and a captive. John and Dollface work together to kill Zemu.
My best friends.
With Zemu dead, Axel is free and stops fighting, grateful for their help. Quiet and Mayhem face their own danger. They see Jeremy killed by Grim during an escape attempt. Grim absorbs Jeremy's soul and attacks them. In the chaos, Axel arrives and battles Grim, giving Quiet and Mayhem a chance to flee. They later reunite with John and Dollface. Quiet confirms that Jeremy and Ashley are dead. After paying respects to the fallen allies, the group continues toward Diesel City. On the way, Dollface explains that Diesel City produces and sells deadly weapons. She plans to steal weapons for the tournament. She warns that anyone who commits violence inside the city will be executed immediately by snipers. The most valuable weapons are locked in a heavily secured vault known as the Vault. The vault sits inside the headquarters of the city's leader, a man called Emperor. Entry is limited to wealthy buyers who act as city delegates. John and Quiet disguise themselves as delegates to reach the vault while Dollface moves to the control room to unlock it. Inside Diesel City, John and Quiet first visit a market that sells common weapons. Sweet Tooth and Stu are there as well, gathering arms for the tournament. Sweet Tooth watches a visitor executed for violence. Stu warns him to stay calm to avoid the snipers, but Sweet Tooth ignores the warning and buys a cloak, later revealing he has already killed several people in the market while wearing it. Elsewhere, John and Quiet enter the Emperor's headquarters to meet the ruler. They see photos of 3 high-level weapons sold only to wealthy buyers and learn that New San Francisco recently used one to destroy a settlement near the outer zone. The revelation strengthens John's resolve to bring down the city walls. Elsewhere, Dollface clears the control room of guards with unexpected help from Sweet Tooth. Impressed by her skill, he agrees to work with her. Together they search the room and find an EMP weapon capable of disabling all electronics. A fight breaks out over control of the device. With Mayhem's help, Dollface wins and knocks Sweet Tooth unconscious. John and Quiet change clothes to reach the Emperor's inner chamber, which leads to the vault. They move through the chamber without drawing attention and reach the vault itself. Inside they linger and become distracted, accidentally dropping a weapon that could start a fire. During this delay, Stu, running from the Emperor's forces, stumbles into the vault. He seizes several deadly weapons before John or Quiet react. Using a powerful rifle, he massacres the Emperor's soldiers and later delivers the stolen weapons to Sweet Tooth so they can enter the tournament fully armed. That night, John's group escapes Diesel City. They leave with only anti-armor bullets and a boomerang missile. Dollface, now armed with the EMP, commits to joining the tournament to help John win. The next day they arrive at the gathering site for all tournament participants. As preparations continue, John and Quiet worry about Mayhem, who has joined the competition despite her lack of combat experience. John soon encounters 2 members of the Holy Man gang. They remind him of the death of their leader Preacher, who died when John tried to recover his stolen car. They present a baby chosen as the new Preacher, signaling their intent to keep the gang alive. Meanwhile, Dollface meets with Axel, who is grateful for his freedom from Dr. Zemu and promises not to attack her, though the truce will not last. Moments later, Sweet Tooth and Stu arrive. Sweet Tooth checks in with John and Quiet about their recent activities, while Mayhem moves through the other contestants, stirring trouble and gathering information. Soon Stu discovers that his old friend Mike is alive and also competing. He is even more shocked to learn that Mike has partnered with a former cannibal named Dave. Mike shows clear disappointment that Stu is working with Sweet Tooth, remembering how the clown once tried to kill them both. Time passes until Grim reaches the site. When he speaks with Sweet Tooth, it becomes clear they were enemies during their stay in the same psychiatric hospital. Afterward, Dollface checks in with John and Quiet to confirm they will cooperate during the tournament. Mayhem then reports the profiles of the other participants to John and insists she will fight on her own. She is determined to win and build a better life. John is surprised when Raven arrives as a contestant. During their brief exchange, Raven is shocked that he chose to enter the tournament after trying so hard to escape her control. She soon realizes he is doing this because of his feelings for Quiet. Moments later, Calypso, the tournament organizer, appears and explains the rules. The opening stage is a qualifying round. Each contestant must deliver a prepared package to the tournament city. They advance only if their package arrives intact. The game begins and all drivers rush to grab their packages and speed toward the target location, attacking rivals along the way. During the chaos, Quiet reveals that she sabotaged Mayhem's car to keep her safe. When Mayhem discovers her car is disabled, she hijacks the vehicle of a fallen contestant and continues the fight to deliver her package. Raven soon attacks to stop John and Quiet. John's accurate shots force her to retreat. Moments later, another contestant's package is hit twice, turning its signal light from green to red. The overseers immediately fire a missile at the car and destroy it. John understands that the package is the driver's lifeline. Next, Mayhem battles a participant named Chucky. She fires a flare in retaliation. Seeing the flare, John and Quiet recognize her position. John takes a risk and turns his vehicle around to help her. The story flashes back to John's past before he lost his car, Evelyn. One night, while resting in a deserted area, he met Calypso. During their talk, Calypso asked about John's greatest wish. John said he wanted a home, a family, and a permanent parking space for his car. Calypso admitted his own wish was to be acknowledged and respected. At that time, John had no idea he was speaking with a man many believed was only a myth. Back in the present, John stops Chucky's attack on Mayhem. Quiet kills another contestant who tries to strike during the chaos. Soon, Grim targets John. Dollface intervenes to protect him. She tries to use her EMP weapon but finds it no longer works and switches to another weapon. In the fight, she is struck by a fatal attack from another participant, allowing Grim to continue. Knowing she is dying, Dollface lets a missile destroy her package and uses the explosion to kill her attacker.
Go win this.
As the round continues, the remaining contestants reach their destination. John qualifies last. The group is shaken when they learn Dollface has died. After the qualifying round, Calypso announces that the tournament is called Twisted Metal and the participants are known as drivers. He leads those who passed to a rest facility. During the trip, he explains that the tournament will have several rounds, each more dangerous than the last. He warns that any driver who kills outside official matches will be disqualified. At the facility, Calypso tells the drivers they can repair and upgrade their vehicles during the rest period. He provides sleeping quarters, a cafeteria, and open space for fresh air. Raven complains about not receiving a private room. Calypso refuses to give her special treatment even though she leads New San Francisco. To underline the warning, he uses his power to make her nose bleed. Quiet comforts John as he grieves for Dollface. He keeps her mask as a reminder of her fight and grows more determined to win the tournament, so her sacrifice will mean something. After some time, Calypso calls all the drivers together for a new announcement. Each will be summoned alone or in a team to a private room to share one wish, and he promises to grant the winner's request. Quiet goes first and declares that she wants the walls around every city destroyed to create equal living conditions for everyone. After she leaves, John quietly states that his wish is to bring Dollface back to life. When the interviews end, all drivers move to the workshop to reinforce their vehicles with the weapons provided. Minutes later, Calypso returns to announce the first round. Each driver must cross the finish line carrying a radar to advance. Only 8 radars are available while 12 drivers compete. Anyone who finishes without a radar will be executed. Calypso then gives John 2 advantages for being the last qualifier in the previous stage. John receives a radar that shows every exit and is allowed to start 1 minute earlier. Raven tries to protest, but Calypso reminds everyone that he controls the tournament and will set the rules. John uses the radar to locate the nearest exit. Distracted and tired, he lets Quiet drive. 1 minute later, the other drivers begin and attack each other while fighting for the scattered radars. John's group enters an ice skating arena where the closest radar sits. They face Raven, Sweet Tooth's team, and the Holy Man gang, all aiming for the same device. The slick surface sends everyone sliding. In the chaos, the Holy Man's baby preacher shocks the crowd by shooting Stu.
That baby's got a gun!
Meanwhile, Mayhem heads toward her chosen radar, but comes under attack. Her vehicle takes heavy damage, yet she reaches the target area. There she clashes with Chucky, who has already taken the radar. The fight is intense and Mayhem struggles, but when she spots an opening, she delivers a fatal strike and kills him.
Oh my god.
After claiming the radar, Mayhem takes Chucky's car and drives toward the finish line. She discovers the vehicle's advanced AI, names it Quattro for easier communication, and switches to autopilot so she can focus on combat. Not far ahead, Grim leaps onto Sweet Tooth's vehicle as it nears the finish line, qualifying for the race even without a radar of his own. John heads for the last remaining radar held by the Holy Man group. During the fight, his team is overpowered. The Holy Man members seize John's boomerang missile without knowing its special ability. They fire it at John's group, but the missile loops back and destroys their own vehicle, killing them. To meet the requirement for qualification, John's team carries the baby preacher alive because the infant refuses to release the radar. After crossing the finish line, they hand the baby to Calypso for safety. During the rest period, Quiet asks why John kept making mistakes in the first round. He admits that stress from hiding his personal wish has distracted him. The story flashes back to the time before the world collapsed. Axel worked as a hitman disguised as a birthday cake vendor. On one job, he murdered an entire family as ordered. In the aftermath, he found a baby girl who was also meant to die. Back in the present, Quiet becomes furious when she learns that John's wish is to bring Dollface back to life. Each driver is allowed only one wish, even in a team. She fears her own goal of destroying the city walls will be lost if they win. Their argument grows heated and they separate. Elsewhere, Sweet Tooth meets with a doctor who checks each driver's health. The doctor tells him he is infertile and will never have biological children. Later that night, Quiet trains with another driver named Frostbite. Calypso suddenly announces a bonus game. All drivers must survive an attack by a murderous gang called the Apocalypse until sunrise to advance. During the chaos, Quiet is cornered by gang members. Frostbite distracts them but is killed when they use a treadmill against her. As the gang prepares to kill Quiet, Raven arrives and kills the attackers, saving her. Once the area is secure, Quiet and Raven decide to work together. They soon find that Vermin, the most unpredictable driver, has killed other Apocalypse members. The three of them join forces to survive until the game ends. Meanwhile, Axel hides in a room with Mike, Stu, and Dave. He refuses to fight because he has not drunk the gasoline that gives him courage and strength. While they wait, Axel shares his past at Dave's request. He once worked as a hitman to pay off debts. His life began to change after he adopted the baby girl who had been his target. He later lost her during an attack by the Vultures gang. While searching for the child, Axel was captured and subjected to brutal experiments that fused him with giant wheels and made him dependent on gasoline. After hearing his story, Dave and the others urge him to stay strong without fuel. Moved by their support, Axel realizes he no longer needs gasoline and kills the Apocalypse members. Soon after, John teams up with Mayhem, the only ally he trusts. Using her strategy, they eliminate several attackers before retreating as reinforcements arrive. Axel then finishes the fight by slaughtering the remaining 5 gang members in front of the other drivers. His altered body gives him far greater strength than a normal human. When the battle ends, Calypso congratulates the survivors. The next day, Quiet understands John's wish after realizing how much Dollface meant to him. She apologizes for dismissing his grief. Soon Calypso brings John and Quiet to the chamber where drivers present their wishes. He reminds them that only one wish is allowed per team and that Quiet, as leader, must be the one to speak. John accepts this and prepares to give up his desire to bring Dollface back. Calypso unexpectedly offers a solution. Trusting him, John and Quiet drink water from a well at the site to settle their wishes. As the meeting ends, Quiet begins to suspect that Calypso is manipulating them. Later, all drivers receive a party invitation from Calypso, who hints that the event will lead into the next round. They put on the outfits he provides and gather at the designated location. At the party site, Calypso asks each driver to have a palm cut. He smears their blood on the trunk of a tree, claiming the blood is an offering to improve their lives. He then uses his power to heal the cuts and leads everyone to the celebration.
Come on, don't be shy.
Put it down. Come, my lady, come.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, well, you look like you needed that.
Go Grim! Go Grim!
As the night goes on, Stu mocks Dave for his past as a cannibal. Offended, Dave walks away to calm down. Stu follows to apologize and finds him eating human flesh. Dave has been hiding his ongoing cannibalism. He attacks Stu to make him his next meal. Stu dodges and Dave is fatally impaled on a coat hook. To hide the truth, Stu stages the scene to look like a suicide. Back at the party, Quiet asks Mayhem to take a photo with her and John. Mayhem ties her hair with a piece of cloth that Axel recognizes as belonging to the baby girl he once adopted before losing her in the vulture's attack. Mayhem explains it has been hers since childhood, and Axel realizes she is the child he has searched for, though he keeps it to himself. The celebration continues until thick smoke fills the room and everyone collapses. John and Quiet wake in separate cars, still disoriented. Calypso announces through the communication system a new challenge that will decide who reaches the final round. Each driver must eliminate the person whose name is written in their envelope.
Easy.
I'm gonna squash you like a bug.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We're gonna kill the insider.
A thunderstorm rages over Watkin as the match begins. John contacts Quiet using the car's radio and learns that his vehicle is a replica of hers. His target is Axel. Quiet's target is Mayhem. Elsewhere, Calypso puts Sweet Tooth, Stu, Mike, and Grim on trial. He first accuses Stu of killing Dave because bite marks on Dave's body match Stu's teeth. Stu explains that Dave attacked him after Stu uncovered his cannibalism and died when the attack failed. Stu admits he hid the truth to spare Mike, Dave's longtime friend. Calypso punishes the deception by stabbing Mike in the shoulder. In the second case, Calypso charges Grim with murder for destroying Harold, a paper bag that Sweet Tooth treated as a living companion. As punishment, Calypso removes all the souls Grim has absorbed.
All of them.
No, don't want to go.
Buckets.
Back in the arena, Mayhem moves toward Raven to find a chance to strike. At the same time, Vermin attacks John. Raven intervenes and uses her lightning weapon to destroy Vermin's car. Vermin survives and leaps onto John's vehicle, but John throws him off and lightning finishes him. Later, Axel tries to eliminate Quiet. John counters and stops him. Quiet then faces a hard choice, knowing she must kill Mayhem to advance. Before she acts, Raven launches another lightning strike aimed at John. The blast instead hits Mayhem's car and knocks her unconscious. John and Quiet rush to give aid. Raven fires again, but Axel blocks the attack to protect Mayhem. The strike disables him and he is eliminated. Soon the officials announce that any driver still able to drive has qualified for the final round. As the survivors recover, a glimpse of Mayhem's past shows that her wish is simple, to find a place where she belongs. Back in the present, she regains consciousness with John and Quiet nearby, but she is officially out of the tournament. Quiet notes that they survived only because of Axel's sacrifice. Mayhem still does not know she was the baby Axel once adopted. Meanwhile, Sweet Tooth, Stu, and Mike are declared finalists. Stu ends his partnership with Sweet Tooth and teams up with Mike, whom he still considers his best friend. He thanks Sweet Tooth for teaching him how to survive. Later, John and Quiet meet with Raven and learn that she intended to kill John during her final lightning strike. As time passes, Mayhem slowly recovers. She secretly witnesses Calypso preparing a robot to attack the drivers. She starts to warn John and Quiet but changes her mind after sensing they view her as a burden. Hurt, she leaves the rest facility. Soldiers soon capture Mayhem and bring her to Calypso. He ordered her arrest because she left without permission and saw his hidden robot. To add excitement, Calypso makes her a guest spectator for the final round. Elsewhere, Sweet Tooth argues with Grim in the cafeteria. Grim was never disqualified because Harold, the object he destroyed, was only a paper bag despite Sweet Tooth treating it like a living companion. Sweet Tooth has hated Grim since the psychiatric hospital where Grim replaced him as the most feared killer. He now vows to finish Grim in the final round. At the same time, John and Quiet plan to tell Mayhem they will leave her behind for the mission. They are shocked to find she has already disappeared. Soldiers then capture them with their heads covered. All 6 remaining drivers, including John and Quiet, are taken to the arena for the final round. To everyone's surprise, Calypso reveals a massive crowd of spectators from both inside and outside the city and explains that every battle in the tournament has been secretly recorded for public entertainment. The last driver able to operate a vehicle will win and have their wish granted. With the announcement complete, the final round begins. Each driver rushes to their vehicle as Stu and Mike target John, forcing him to contact Quiet and form an alliance. Quiet follows them onto the track, and together she and John strike Mike, sending Stu into a crash.
Sorry, Stu.
Sweet Tooth focuses on Grim but quickly shifts to Raven after a sudden move from Grim. Raven counters with a shield system that makes her car invulnerable and drops a bomb that flips Sweet Tooth's vehicle. Calypso declares the shield illegal and disables it with his powers, so the fight remains fair. Raven then turns on John, determined to kill him for his earlier betrayal. John dodges her lightning strike and fires a boomerang missile that destroys her car. She crawls from the wreckage in critical condition and dies peacefully when she sees the spirit of Kelly, the person she loved most. Time passes until a joint attack from John and Quiet throws Grim off his motorcycle. Sweet Tooth, still alive, seizes a weapon and attacks Grim directly. Grim fights back, and the two engage in a brutal duel. Sweet Tooth overpowers him and hurls him into John's path, where John's vehicle delivers the final blow. The match enters its final phase when Calypso unveils his secret robot, Minion, as the ultimate opponent. Minion moves with incredible speed and strength, breaking through Sweet Tooth's machine gun fire. The clown is no match and is hurled across the arena into a shipping container. Minion then targets John and Quiet. They launch a combined assault, but Minion evades every strike and even catches one of Quiet's missiles, firing it back at John's car. Quiet rams into Minion and activates a timed bomb in her vehicle before jumping clear. Once safe, she gives first aid to the unconscious John. Stu, recovering from his crash, learns that Mike is dead. Seeking revenge, he drives back into the arena to kill John and Quiet but finds them gone. Calypso declares Stu the winner of the Twisted Metal tournament as the last driver still able to operate a vehicle. After the announcement, Calypso allows Mayhem to leave and hints at another surprise. As Stu celebrates his victory, the grandstand suddenly explodes, killing many spectators. The story flashes back to 1585 in Virginia, where two people flee in terror as Calypso rises from a forest well, proving that he has lived for centuries. It then shifts to the early 2000s, when Calypso pitches Twisted Metal to the NBC television network. He describes it as a survival reality show of 22 episodes, not a normal tournament. NBC rejects the idea for multiple reasons. Calypso waits patiently for the world to be ready for a deadly reality show. He finds his chance when a digital virus collapses global systems. Back in the present, Mayhem catches up to John and Quiet in Sweet Tooth's car. She apologizes for not warning them about Minion. Quiet uses a makeshift defibrillator to revive John, and the three set out to find safety. During the drive, Quiet tells John about the explosion in the stands and explains that Stu was declared the winner. She adds that the tournament ended after the bombing. At John's request, Mayhem drives them to his late grandfather's house near the forest. Meanwhile, Stu asks Calypso to grant his wish as the tournament champion. A flashback shows Stu's time with Sweet Tooth, who once refused to make a wish because he believed Calypso was deceiving the drivers. Because of that choice, Stu gained the chance to wish for a safe and peaceful place with Mike. Calypso grants the wish. Stu wakes aboard a spaceship traveling through outer space and is shocked to find Mike's body there. The ship belongs to Calypso. Back with John, he reaches his grandfather's house and finds it still livable with only minor cleaning needed. While exploring, he discovers a book that belonged to Dollface, proof that she once visited the home. John decides to settle there with Quiet and Mayhem. From that day forward, the three begin a new life together as a family. Several months later, a sudden television broadcast interrupts the quiet life of John, Quiet, and Mayhem. Calypso greets the loyal viewers of Twisted Metal and delivers alarming news. He reveals that all victims of the grandstand bombing were insiders, residents of the major cities. In response, the cities have united under a new alliance called the United and launched an investigation. They name John and Quiet as the primary suspects. The accusations appear strong. Evidence includes Quiet's stated wish to destroy the city walls and John's wish to improve life for outsiders. These details make the insiders view the outsider population as a growing threat. The United announces plans to eradicate outsiders under the claim of creating freedom and safety, removing the need for city walls. After the broadcast ends, John and Quiet realize that Calypso has framed them. Their fears grow when Minion, fully repaired and alive, attacks. Quiet fights back but is quickly overpowered and thrown aside. John steps forward to confront the robot. During the fight, John is shocked to discover that Minion is Dollface, resurrected by Calypso. She accuses him of causing her transformation through his wish to bring her back. As she prepares to kill him, a sudden shot forces her to release him and search for the shooter. Stu appears, offering unexpected help, but his gun runs out of ammunition. John seizes the opening and strikes Minion's weak point, giving Quiet and the others time to escape. He spares Dollface's life, remembering the bond they once shared. When she recovers, Dollface lets the group go, as if a part of her old self has returned. Later, the Sweet Tooth vehicle carrying John's group breaks down after running out of fuel. During the pause, Stu explains that he strengthened his body after his time in outer space and intentionally crashed his spaceship into a lake to return to Earth. He also reveals that he found John's grandfather's house because John often spoke of it. While searching for another vehicle, the group agrees on a new mission: to stop Calypso. They know he disrupted their lives and provoked war between insiders and outsiders. With that decision, the first season of Twisted Metal ends. So the moral of the story is, if you ever meet a creepy immortal who promises to grant wishes, run the other way, or you might end up racing murder clowns, drinking mystery well water, and accidentally starting a citywide war.